Co's out there. How are you doing? It's Russ here from Porky's Corner. I think we've got Max here.
Hello.
How you doing, Maxie? Can you see me? No?
Yeah.
Can you see?
Oh, there we go. Yeah, no, yeah, I can see now. I can see your screen.
Have a look what we've got here. Oh. How you doing, Maxie? We're
Yeah.
recording. Are you all right, mate?
Yeah, yourself.
We're trying to figure it out, aren't we, kid? We're trying our best. What you been up to?
Training. Um, I've been at it non-stop last 3 weeks. At it
Yeah.
since last week.
You're
Got a
looking a
set.
bit, looking a bit lighter, Max.
Trying, mate. I'm very trying. Um, so yeah. I'm off. Well, I've got to go to the gym after this. I've got to record a video for Jules. And yeah, um, work, gym. I literally, one of my mates the other day said, you coming out this week coming?" I'm like, "Nah, not a chance. I'm just grinding now, so got opportunities." So yeah,
Well, if you put the work in now, the fight will be easier, won't it?
exactly. I don't. The point is, Russ, is like doing 4 rounds is not a problem. But I want to do 4 rounds comfortably. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
don't want to do. I don't want just like fourth round and just be on my last list. I still want to be like I finish off that well and strong and thinking, oh yeah, I could do another two. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be in the position like I've been before. Just scrape through that fourth round. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit of a odd situation you're in, Max, isn't it? Because you've got your job as well now, aren't you? And you're trying to fit this in as well, aren't you?
it's morning and night jobby, and when Julian comes back to it, I've got to find out. I mean, I can uni. This is a good thing about it. My job's quite supportive of it, so they'll give me like if I give a lot of the 3 hours one day a week to go to Leeds, they'll allow me to do it and get me cover. So they're quite supportive, to be fair, what I'm doing. So it all benefits. So yeah, so it's so I'm doing my second after this. I'm going to the gym for the second time today. So yeah,
Dennis got you an opponent yet, Max?
yeah,
You got one. Do you know who it is?
yeah.
No, I'm allowed to say at the moment, no.
No, I can't say it a minute. I'll tell you off screen.
All right.
So
It's what I think it is. You should win.
yeah, yeah. I think we're on the same
You
page.
need a win to get on up and running, and Dennis is not going to put you in a hard one for beginning. He'll give you an easy one.
No,
If you don't
yeah.
over this one, Max,
Just quit. Just quit. Yeah.
eat yourself to death, don't you? After
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
order the pizzas that you like, Max.
Hmm?
Order pizzas that you like. Order a pizza that you like, then not feel guilty, can't you?
No, I want to. Look, I've got an opportunity here, and I want to do it. I don't want to put like my hand on it and think, I could have tried more. I'm literally, it's like our last has just finished work 20 minutes ago. After I've done this, I'm out the door, and I won't see her until tonight.
You've
So
been running now, Max. You seem out of breath.
yeah. I've just ran from uni to here. That's
How
why it
far
took
is
so
that?
long.
How far is
So
that?
again,
How far?
uh, 2.5 mile.
2.5.
Yeah.
I bet
So
they you coming, Max, can't they? Boom, 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 down seat. Have you got
yeah.
your basic trainers on, Max, for your running?
Hey, you need them softened so it like doesn't break the ground, so the council don't have a go at me.
Well, yeah. Anyway, Max, there's a lot been going on with boxing, but I'm glad that you're getting into a routine now. Now you know where you are, and now you've signed with Dennis and stuff like that. Let's see if you can make a go in it. Huh? Have you decided who's going to train you?
It's going to be Jules. Jules is going to be always. I know the demographic is the problem, but it's my job to get myself fit, right? If I can keep the technical sessions with Jules, right, and I'm going to do sparring with Ryan Rollinson's lads, and I'm going to go through Curtis Woodhouse a few times, at Adrian,
Good
a
him,
few
innit?
times. So
Good him, innit?
yeah, well, yeah, I've seen of him. He's only just turned 16, and he's like banging out lads,
Why
like,
don't
you
you
know what
do
I
a
mean?
bit
So
with Curtis then? And I don't know if you can keep your fitness up and that, get Julian to come on, see you once a week or something, and then help corner you if you're in shape and that.
I've just I'm about got heavy. That's the problem with me, Russ. I've got heavy. You know what I mean? nine
Why are you
months out,
20 max?
9 months. I got heavier than that. Got
You
heavier
are
than that.
21, heavier than that, yeah.
Not now. No, I'm 21 now. I was
Are you
nearly 24.
max?
That's what I mean.
I thought
That's
you
what
were
I mean.
about 18 and a half when I come out, when I had my operation in Turkey on my stomach and I come back. You were about 18
Yeah,
and
that's what I mean. That's what I mean. That, and I had a
where did
fight
6 stone
with.
come from then? Just,
Yeah, but
just
then I
eating
had
at wrong time and not training.
just not try. I'm not training on the head after my last fight. I'm not training on the head, didn't I?
Yeah,
Yeah, and I didn't know where I was going and what I was doing. Then obviously I had problems with the gym, etc.
yeah.
Now I've got a routine. I've got everything in the background sorted. Everything else comes into play now, and I feel like this is probably last month.
Feel like
It's
this is
been the
your
most
moment,
happiest.
Max. Feel like this is your moment.
without sounding it, but when you got things always going on back, for yourself, Russ, when you're doing this malarkey, when you've got things going on in the background, you can't always concentrate on your work or anything. Like, what I mean? If you work, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But it's not as good, is it? Your work productive is not as good. You know that from anyone. So now things are better in the background. There's nothing holding me back. So
Just leave it to Dennis. He'll match you accordingly, won't he?
yeah, get me ranked.
Do you know if you get hammered off this tater you're going to fight Max, Dennis is going to throw you in with big praise. It's
Just
big
cash me out early.
praise. It's big praise versus the breadcrumb.
Mm,
Dennis will get his investment back what he's lost on first one.
yeah.
And he'll say, well, you signed up for it, Max. You signed that form to say you're medically fit before you got in ring weight. It's big phrase. Oh, big phrase. Hey, listen, at this rate, you might end up having more wins than big phrase this time next year because he's not exactly moving quickly, is he? What
I
do you
do. I think it's strange. I think it's all these, like, you got design boxer. It all seems a bit strange because you look at, obviously, people moving from design to boxer, then and with the boxer situation, I don't get Fraser, because Fraser Clark, he's a talent, and
think?
you would want him at the age, what is he, 32, 33? You want him to get going now. Um, See him in English title against Dacres or Wardley now. He
Mm.
needs to be there now. He'll flush out Nathan Gorman. So there's no
Him and
point putting him
Wardley's a
against him.
50-50, isn't it?
That's what I mean.
Him and Wardley, because Fraser's got a lot of top level amateur experience, and he's been Olympics, and he's been Olympic trials and
Yeah.
all other ones, all tournaments, so Europeans, worlds, and whether the trials or he got to tournament, he's always been there or thereabouts, and so he's fought
Yeah.
at a high level, and so you wouldn't have thought, and Wardley, white collar, you'd have thought they'd be kind of like equal, wouldn't you? So why don't they just let him off at leash and just let him get at it? Because otherwise he's going to be 36 hanging around for a British title, isn't he, at this rate? He's 32 next, isn't he, Phrase? In
That's what I
August.
mean. You
32 and
wanted
he's
to be
got
there.
he'll have a handful of fights, hasn't he? You know what I mean?
But what opponents he had? He hasn't been in anything great, is he? The last one sort of survived for a bit, and ones before that, it's just one rounders. Yeah, he hasn't had a tough. You know what I mean?
What do you think of heavyweight landscape at the moment, Max?
Well, I can't really, I can't because the talent pool's that shallow. I've got a chance to be like not in the mix, obviously at the top, but I've got a chance. I shouldn't even be anywhere near these sort of level of shows, right? But because it's that shallow, like myself, people like Nick Campbell can nip in there. If it was 10 year ago, or even more than that, like Lennox Lewis's era, not you wouldn't even have a sniff. And that's the level. It's gone. It's been diluted that much over the course of years. It's the whole landscape's changing, Russ. You look at it. I mean, look, Johnny Fisher. He's not the greatest. He's learning, you know, but he's going to be always there at the minute because he sells tickets, so he's always going to be within a sort of interest for people, isn't he? So he's a perfect example.
Would you have a fight with Johnny Fisher if Dennis could get you that max?
5 fights down the road, yeah.
You and the Bosch King, or whatever, what's his name? But I'm for Bull or something. Bull.
Yeah, Romford Bull. If I had this, the only condition I'll take it if I had 3 whole hours a week with Julian on technical. That's the only way I do it because learning off him is second to none.
How about
I
just
can
doing
see,
your best and getting really as fit as you can and just trying to stay behind your long jab and just trying to get through the rounds and trying to pick up experience as you go along, even if you're going to
yeah,
pick losses up. If you can do that, you get yourself as fit as possible. Because if you're only going to see Julian once a week, them other 6 days you need to be doing cardio, don't you, and getting
oh,
really
yeah,
fit.
yeah,
And when you see Julian, he can sort the technical stuff, but you're not going to see
no,
him 7 days, are you? You're only going to
no,
see him one day a week, and
yeah,
then in the corner when you fight. So
exactly,
so if you can just go to Curtis's gym and just keep ticking over in there until you see Julian once a week, that's probably best, isn't it? Because that's nearer for
yeah,
you, isn't it? You think?
yeah, yeah, probably, yeah,
But where's
yeah,
he? Old Driffield out that way, innit? Your spot.
yeah. I think he's in
East
Beverly now.
Coast, innit? Beverly, yeah,
Yeah,
he's East Coast, innit?
yeah.
He ain't
So
got far to go from all, has he, to Beverly? You've not got
yeah,
far from Scarborough. Do
yeah,
that, and then when you get nearer to the date, just try to see Julian once a week, and then when you get out there where you're going to fight, you'll have 4 or 5 days with Julian, won't you? Or 3 days
yeah,
where he
yeah,
can be on you every day and in here and be showing you
yeah,
things. That's all.
yeah,
That's best you're going to do because you're miles away from him, aren't you?
yeah, exactly.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And you're 35 now. It's only your third fight, isn't it? So you're a bit
yeah,
late at the party, aren't you?
yeah,
That's
yeah.
all, only thing I can do. Just enjoy it, Mark. You're probably never going to win a belt, but don't take that to heart.
No, it's
But
realistic.
being honest here, aren't we? Look,
Realistic.
I'll give you one here. I've got a snake belt here, Mark, some 70s. Whang! I'll give you one of these snake belts I've had here years. And that's the only belt you're going to get. But just enjoy it. You pick a few quid up and listen, it's what you want to do. You've done rugby, you're
Yeah,
doing boxing. It's just that you're probably
yeah.
not going to go to as high a level as you were at rugby, are you, with boxing?
No,
But at
exactly,
least you've had a go, haven't you? So don't take
exactly.
any, listen, forget any banter on here that I have with you. I want what's best for you.
Yeah, I
But
know you do.
I want you to go in that ring, Max. I want you to go in there. And this is what I'd say to anybody. Go in that ring and just enjoy yourself, but give yourself the best opportunity. If
Best
you're
chance as
overweight,
possible.
Max, you're not going to be able to do it rounds. If you've got no petrol in your tank, you're not going to be able to do it fourth round, are you, in a four
No.
rounder? If you
Yeah,
can only fight for free, it's like having a 30 lap race at Brands Hatch, isn't it? In a rally car or whatever. You're running out of
yeah,
petrol. That's you.
yeah,
So get your
yeah,
fitness up. Just get your fitness. There's loads not got as better ability as you, but they've got some fitness and they're making a living out being a journeyman.
yeah,
They're out
exactly. Yeah,
2 or 3 times a month, or at least twice a month, probably 5, 6 grand a month they're getting. It's not bad, that is it? They're turning up, they're doing rounds, they're probably taking a loss, which they will be, but they're getting a few quid, and that's what you want to do, isn't it?
yeah. Eventually, yeah,
You
yeah,
might get lucky one day. You might just it all might come together one night. It happened a few times for Tony Booth, over at Hull, Tony.
yeah,
He was
yeah,
a journeyman. Tony Booth, he fought David Day on David's debut and that, but he managed to make a living out of it and get through the rounds and that and stuff like that. You might be able to do that. You don't know what can
yeah.
happen, Max. You're
You
pretty
don't know. You don't know. Yeah.
took them punches off Torrance in Leeds when I got you that sparring, didn't you? You took them, mate. If
Well,
you could take them off him, you were like, bloody
but,
listed, wasn't it?
but there's this thing I said to Julian. He's a good level. He's like I've sparred with people like more well known against him, and he give me half his trouble. You know what I mean? And he was mustard him.
Yeah,
And
but
I'm
you've got to
thinking, why
understand,
is Nick?
he's like a light heavy cruiser, and he's caught like a Tommy Fury weight, isn't he? Like an
Yeah,
in-betweener. And
yeah,
you're a lot bigger than that. If you're 7 stone or heavier than him, he's going to be a
yeah,
lot more mobile around you. And this is why I
yeah,
said to you, you've got to get some of that weight off. You know what
yeah,
Terry Curran said to me? Terry Curran used to play for Sheff Wednesday and Sheff United. And we went out to see it dripping tap, and we were sat in Terry Curran having a cup of tea. And he said to me, "Do you know what it is, Porky? When I was footballing, the main thing we used to have drilled into us, especially off Cloughie, Brian Clough, was don't carry weight. Because if you're carrying that bit of weight, you can't get about. And fighters, footballers has been getting fitter and fitter. Have you noticed how quick they are now? They're like athletes,
yeah,
aren't they?
yeah,
How would you Robbie Fowlers, Kenny Dalglish's, and Sheringham's cope with these lot today? But their
probably.
first two steps were in their heads, wasn't it? Do you see where I'm
Mm,
coming from? But they might, I don't know if they'd struggle today. I don't think they would because they were that talented. But the point I want to make is people are getting quicker, people are getting bigger, aren't they?
yeah,
Torrance, a lot smaller than you, but powerful, gave it run
yeah,
around, didn't he?
yeah,
If you would have been 3 or 4 stone lighter, I think it'd have been a different story because when you had your jab on him, you were all right, weren't you?
yeah. It was.
You
Have you
carried that.
noticed? So, have you noticed when you get past my jab, then it's like the jab's like my safety blanket, and
Oh,
it's
your jabs. Look, all you've got to remember, Max, with your jab, and this is, listen, people will take mickey out of what I'm saying is, but this is true. Your jab, you're like a fencer, aren't you? Fencing,
yeah,
aren't you? And
yeah,
you're not trying to let them get in. You're fencing with it, and that's what you. And when you were getting clipped off Torrance, you weren't fencing because you were trying to just get your sensors together, weren't you? So you're pushing out, aren't you, with your arm?
yeah.
But what I would have done, I would have held on to him because you're like a little tank, wasn't
You bastard,
he?
really.
What about Nick Manners' brother Colin when he set about you at Medicine Ball, Max?
Oh god, do you know what it was? I was like, like Nick Manners' magic ball mixed, and you pick him up, and I'm like thinking, fuck's sakes, I best get like 15, and I've got 37.
You were like,
It's like, that's
oh,
your third
oh,
go.
oh. Well, they were bashing you with it. They come keen, don't they, Max? You just got, see, this is
Yeah,
what I said to you. But if you go do that every week, you'll get to a stage where you don't even feel a body shot. Because that's what you do to
no,
toughen you up for body shots. You know that, don't you? Keep hitting you with
yeah, yeah,
that. Keep doing it every week, once a week, only once a week. And eventually you keep getting clipped in the stomach and it just bounces off. But you
yeah,
were like, oh, because you've never done it, had you? It's
no,
alien
no,
to you,
yeah,
isn't it? But you need
yeah,
to be doing that every week.
yeah,
Otherwise, anybody who gets in with you is going to tickle you down the belly button, Max, aren't they? You're going to go
yeah,
like that, like a deck
yeah,
chair. So
yeah,
get them to do it every week. You're not
yeah,
going to, are you?
yeah. I am.
So when you do that, that means you're not going to.
No, no, no.
You promise
Has
me.
been done.
You promise me.
Promise you. It's a bit.
I'm
It's
going out
actually
on a
been.
limb for your ear, Max. So don't let me down. Honestly, I want you to really get stuck in.
Um,
Don't let me
when
down.
you
I want
see
you to
me,
be as successful as Josh Whale was when I signed him.
well,
You and Josh are a little bit different in abilities.
I think
Right,
so. Yeah.
right. Let's move on then, Max. Tommy Fury's been given a number 39 WBC ranking. He's 9-0. And Jake Paul's. Oh, sorry, not Jake Paul. Who's the other one that's been given rank? Oh, Conor Benn. He's been given a number 7 ranking. What's going on here, Max? Can you explain something to me? Because I think I'm lost in the fog.
Well, Conor Ben. I don't know why we see it's getting. I don't know why these social media outlets are giving him the time of day, posting pictures of him. You know what I mean? Because ultimately, he hasn't proved his innocence. So why are we even? Look, I'll tell you what. Come back, prove to these eggs contaminated. Prove to these people that you're not having us on. And regarding Tommy Fury, I mean, I think there's I bet you can find so many other boxers who've got more wins and haven't got a ranking in his division.
Hmm.
So it's just
Would
because
you
it's
put
top.
Vidal Riley in with Tommy Fury?
Yeah,
Or would you say wins?
Riley.
Riley, but yet Riley's ranked below Tommy.
I know it doesn't make sense, does it?
He don't matter.
So
Tommy's ranked 167 on box rate. 167, but 39 on WBC. So it just makes a mockery of it, doesn't it? The WBC are running roughshod of a boxing, mate. They're doing what they want.
Look, they're gone against. They should, if they wanted to be in with us. I mean, let's be honest. If they wanted to keep on the right side of the British border control, etc., we're making sanction of fights in this country, you would think they want to work with the board. You know what I'm saying? And let's be honest, I'll give praise. So we give a lot of crap to the board on this channel, as in, this wasn't right. They're standing firm as Conor Benn thing. They could have filled their nappies by now and
Listen,
think,
mate, listen. Do you know when it comes down to it, right? Conor Benn will just have a fight in Saudi and a fight in America, and he'll sort it all. And he'll come back to England when he's been away from England 2 years. He'll probably get a 2-year ban. He'll be able to fight in England next April. So till then, he'll have a couple of fights and get millions, won't he? Because his profile's bigger than ever.
yeah,
Lord will give him a 2-year ban, and everybody will say, "Well, he got a 2-year ban, but he still boxed, though, didn't he?" Do you see where I'm coming from? And this is why it leaves a bad taste in my mouth. And this is why I'm looking forward to the Simon Jordan interview on Tuesday, because when he gets Eddie Earn on that thing, they're going to ask him some proper questions. They'll ask him what I'd ask him. I mean, I would have to stick billboards up me all over the place, and it costed me a small fortune, and he wouldn't bite. So I thought he'd bite because I thought his ego was that big, but he didn't bite, did he? But he's going to have to answer to Simon Jordan now, and let's see if Simon Jordan can ask him what should be asked. It's not rocket science, is it? Why did they bury drug tests? Why did they not tell public? Why did they tell public? Sorry, why did they let the public go on and buy tickets and book hotel, flights, trains, travel, time off work, all that, and go on live TV, knowing there were even a second test after that? Go on live TV, go ITV in the morning. I don't know which one is it, Richard and Judy or whatever, Jeremy Springer, whatever they have on in the morning. That stuff in the morning.
yeah.
Gone on there with Callaghan or whoever, and they're trying to sell this fight in fight week. What?
It's
Two,
just crazy, isn't
not one, but two tests,
it?
two
Yeah.
in it. And so let's see if he asks him that. And then if they ask him about all cover-ups with Anthony Joshua, we want to know about all that.
I think, look, with the Conor Benn situation, this is the thing. Like, let's say, for example, he boxes, for argument's sake,
Yeah.
2 times now, right? Because he hasn't done it in England, will that still carry on? As in, oh, well, you still
He
box.
can still keep fighting in Saudi or certain parts of America. The boxing board of control will have a bit of power in some states in America, and he probably won't be allowed. But some states, they'll find somewhere for him. Saudi, they will. Let's have it right. Nobody gives a shit about what's going on in Saudi. They just want to get in, get the money, and get out, don't they, off these oil sheiks?
Yeah.
So I think he'll be all right in Saudi and some parts of America, but I don't think he will be allowed in some parts of Europe because the board are really strong, aren't they, with Germany and other places? And there's no fights from there anyway. So you would have thought that they'll give him a 2-year backdated. Anything more than that will be mega strong. But Liam Cameron got 4 years for one test. This kid's got 2 tests. So he's got to be looking at 4, hasn't he, surely? Or 8. Is it 8? Tyson were looking at 12 years, he told me. Tyson. He was looking at 12 years. He got 2, didn't he, backdated?
It depends if Clomid is as high as cocaine. It depends how high
Well, it's
each.
Clomid's to mask over performance-enhancing drugs. Do we agree on
Yeah.
that? It's
Yes.
a tablet that they've took to mask over some performance-enhancing stuff. So that's where we're at. So, but they haven't got the performance-enhancing stuff in him. So he's going to go, well, how's that got in my system? What? Well, it's in your system. You're liable, aren't you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's liable because it's in his system. This is why they're holding that dossier back in it, because they've done all that work, and then at the end they've realised, oh, if it's something you put in your mouth, it's something in the food, you're responsible. But that could also be the get out, because they can say, well, we're going to go guilty, but we don't know how it's got in there. That's what they're going to say. So they're always going to plead their innocence, and they're going to take the ban, because when the cold, hard light of day dawns on young Ben and he's sat at home, right? Unbelievable. And he's sat at home, right? thinking, when am I going to get a date here? When am I going to get a date? Blah, blah, blah. Because eventually they're going to bring him back, aren't they? Because he'll
Yeah.
get beat eventually out there, won't he? So they're going to have to
Yeah.
bring him back, aren't they, to build him up and all that, aren't they? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if they're going to put him in money fights, let's see him in a proper fight. Let's see Errol Spence or Crawford. They'll fight him. He's number
No,
7 ranked. He can fight the champion, can't he? I don't see him
yeah.
calling them out, do you?
No, no, he won't.
He'll
He
fight
won't.
Kell Brook, who's been past his sell-by date 3 or 4 year. He'll fight Kell Brook, won't he? Yeah, we'll have Kell Brook. We'll have that one, won't he? But he won't call the big 2 dogs out in the division, will he? Well, he won't, will he?
He won't fight David Avanesian. Avanesian will still beat him.
David Avenetian lights him up and puts him on planet Mars. It's the newest one, Mars.
He'll run him over, I think, Avanesian. Run him over.
Well, will Conor Benn even get a license now? He's saying he's got mental health issues.
This is the thing.
Mental health issues, your fists aren't the secret weapons. If you say you've got mental health, you can't have a driving license. If your doctor finds out about it, eventually they're catching up with him now, aren't they? Taking the licenses off him, all these with mental health. So I wonder if Conor Benn will be saying he's got mental health if he gets a knock on door from his doctor. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a tricky one with Conor Benn because you know he knows he's guilty. He's better off just staying, putting his hands up, and just say, "Let's take the ban," and it would be over with in next April. It would be over with. You know what I mean? And just box once abroad, and that'd be it.
Well, he's done a year in year ban already, and in next month. He's done a year next month, right?
Yeah.
They'll backdate it. So he's a year in credit, isn't he? It'll be dawning on him now. We'll have a year in credit, you know, have a couple of fights out at country. Eddie will mop up the mess. Do you know what I mean? And Coogan will do rest, won't he, on IFL? And Kevin Mitchell and Simsers and all that lot down there, all that Essex lot. Have you heard them all coming out to bat for him? I've known him years, he won't do that. Oh, yeah. Well, Fred West had been known years by his neighbours, but they didn't know they were chopping them all up, did they? And all that other one, Dennis Nielsen, he was putting him in drains, wasn't he?
Like putting him in, yeah,
he worked in Job Centre in Max, you know. I watched it last night.
Did you?
Job Centre. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's all that about? Do you know who he reminds me of?
Oh, here we go.
Bean. It looks like Bean, doesn't he?
I can see where you're going with that, but I won't comment.
Don't say about Bean. He's having a tough time backing 3-legged donkeys. Right, Max. We spoke about Conor Benn and Tommy Fury, and their rankings with WBC, which I don't know how they've got them.
It's questionable.
That shows you how messed up boxing is. Let's move on to the heavyweight showdown. Usyk and Tyson Fury. Does it happen, Max? Yes or no?
No. Usyk wants it. You can clearly say he's called his bluff. Tyson Fury, he's going to have to be careful because the British public's going to go off him if he carries on what he's doing. I mean, it's like I said this to Jules the other day. He goes, "Oh, to be fair to Tyson Fury, he says once he has a blackout, he says he's having a blackout, but he can't help himself because a day later he says he's bringing in his sparring partner for Usyk, which is Josh Taylor, for a joke. So he can't help himself. Usyk will beat him if it's on April 29th, but I don't think it happens. Tyson Fury will make up some excuse. I'm going to predict this right now. I think he's going to do something to do with family, an excuse regarding his family that he has to pull out, and they're going to get it for a later date after summer because he realizes he's not really ready.
Yeah.
Because he can't admit the truth. They can't admit the truth. They can't. What is the wrong saying? I'll have more respect if he says, "You know what, Usyk, I'm not ready. I've neglected myself the last 5-6 months. Let's do it in July or let's do it in August or something like that." Then it would be fine. You know what I mean? It would just carry on. You know what I'm saying? And get it signed and its date, and you've got a date to work with. But he can't do that. He's got to play the circus trail, don't he? So.
Yeah, it's madness. Do you think he's been crazy taking 30%? Considering he's got 5 at 6 belts, hasn't he?
Well, we say this, right? but he's called his bluff, isn't he? Usyk's called his bluff. Usyk's made no barriers. He hasn't turned around and said, "I want this, I want that, I want that." Right? He just said, "Yes, Tyson. Yeah, we do that, Tyson. Yes, and it's pissed him off a little bit more, isn't it? He's turned around and think, "Oh, Christ, I thought he would." Yeah, they're thinking their own head. I thought he's going to reject that, but he's up for that. He could offer 90, 10. Usyk will still accept it.
He just wants that opportunity to get to complete it, doesn't he? Like he did the cruiserweight division, doesn't he? He's just got one
Exactly.
fight and he's completed it all. Nobody's done that, have they?
Exactly. That's what I think the history. He's got money. Usyk's got money. He's got plenty of money from the Joshua fight. Um, so he's not slack on money.
Mm.
So he really wants it, and and he's picking legacy over money. And you know what? You can't really, he's this is why I like him, and he's humble. He doesn't trash talk really. He's only winding up because it's Tyson Fury. He's only saying the things. If it was a fight against Bellew and Derek Story, he wasn't really trash talking, was he? He was quite respectful in some areas. So got to give credit where credit's due. He wants legacy, Usyk, truly.
Mm. Yeah, he does. He does. He's I like Usyk. I'm a massive fan of his. I just think I like what he stands for. I mean, he's had all them fights on road and all them world title fights. He's fought everybody on road. He hasn't complained. He don't kick off. He don't shout and bawl. He just gets on with it, doesn't he? Turns up, does the business, schools people, and goes home and rides his horse.
You see, I just think as this generation can look at him as an example how you
Yeah,
should
people
be.
like you need to look at Usyk, Max.
But the thing is no, but yeah, why
Did
not?
you see him
Because
do that training session and then pull down to his underpants and just slowly slip into fish pond and stay on the water about half a minute, then pop up, walk out? You look like ice and everything in it, didn't there? In a fish pond. What's he
this is the
doing?
thing. But he's just look. You've
He
got
doesn't.
to make your training most uncomfortable,
I don't
and he's
like
making
being
it so.
cold, me, you know. I
But
couldn't do
it's,
that. I like warmth. But
it's
Usyk's the real deal, isn't he? He's, and Tyson Fury and his old man, Big John, Fury Power, Big John, they're going to be sat at home. They'll be like, what can we do with this guy here, Usyk? They're probably filling the nappies because they can't get into his head like they did Whites and Chisoras and Vladimir's. They sent Vladimir bonkers.
don't, don't you
Vladimir
think?
had a
Don't you think?
breakdown, Tyson give him a breakdown, mate. I'm telling you.
Don't you think they're in unfamiliar territory because they've never been faced with this before? Because most every fight he's had, he's won a psychological battle. He's on the receiving end, and he doesn't know how to handle it.
Yeah, Usyk's just saying, yeah, yeah, okay, let's just fight Grady Belly. Grady Belly.
Hey, Belly.
Anyway, do you want to go to part two? Austin Maxey.
Yeah, yeah.
Join us on part two. Porky's Corner is proud to be sponsored by Spartan Site Solutions. They are specialists in civil engineering and demolition contracts for the construction industry. Interested parties should visit their website or contact Porky's Corner for a referral at porkycorner@mail.com.